Guess who's back? Back again. I'm back. The market was up a lot earlier. It was up like 3% or more. Now you're kind of selling off. I mean, you're not red yet on the day, but you know, the better market tings. Better market tings, as the title suggests. That's kind of, it is what it is. Really. It is what it is. Trisha. What's up? Holy. I never see that name in here. And I love that name. I hope you're doing good, Trisha. I hope you're doing good. Let me grab a hat here. Jared, what's up, Jared? Hey, Jared, you've been in here first the past few days. You've been crushing. You've been crushing. I mean, you didn't beat Trisha. You didn't beat Trisha, but you've been in here pretty quick the past few streams. I've noticed. But yeah. Buying the dips. Let's go. Long term, baby. Long term. Even Jake Waters came in here yesterday. He was like, I'm buying. I'm like, hell yeah. I'll never say it can't keep selling off. But there definitely are some good decent buys right now. Some decent buys. What do you want, cat? I don't know what you want from me, kitty. I mean, beyond the stock market, I hope you've been doing good, Trisha. The stock market's whatever. Stock market's boring. You just buy it and then it does everything for you. So besides the stock market, I hope you're doing good. I did want to go through some of these companies that I went through over the weekend, and I just want to see what they did. Because I mean, most of them were watches. Like, majority, I just put watch. But there were some stocks, like some risky buys. Watch so I guess let's look at some of the buy ones. Let's see. What did Denny's do? What has Denny's done? I think Apple's oversold, overreacted to tariff news. I don't really like those tech stocks personally. Just because I don't know like what the real I've kind of changed. I mean, just like last time when I started streaming again, I've kind of changed how I approach the market. You know, I'm still like I kind of like value stocks that I can actually kind of put a price on. Whereas like with Apple and Microsoft, like I like all those companies like Apple, Microsoft, all those, but you can't really put a value on them, and who knows exactly where they're going. I'm sure they're gonna keep going up, like history has shown that, but who knows? Like I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I like the SPY honestly. Like out of anything, when you go look at how much the SPY went up from 2022 to 25 compared to like any of those stocks besides maybe Facebook. I mean, the SPY kept up. But oversold, you know, oversold's an opinion. You can't really say something's oversold, overbought. That's just like it's truly just an opinion. So I don't know. That's hard to say. Even if iPhone's 5K, people still buy it. Well, I doubt the iPhone's gonna be that much, but I just don't. I don't know. Apple's weird. All those stocks are. I mean, let's look at the filing. I haven't looked at I never look at those companies' filings. What's up, Kristen? Hugh G, what's up? Denny's chicken fried steak sucks. I just want to see how the stock did. Is it still selling off? Yeah, it's still selling off. So that wouldn't have been a good buy. I mean, these are all long-term picks, so what it did in the short term really doesn't matter, but still selling off. So let's look at Apple's recent 10K. GameStop's kind of clapping today. So this is what this is why you take profits. Idiot. Idiot. Anyway, was on Josh's stream. That's crazy. I actually watched a Josh stream over the weekend. I watched a little bit, and then I saw him do an option play, and then his stream FOMO'd into it with him, and he literally sold it immediately. And then I turned it off because I'm like, damn, I respect what Josh says and a lot of the things he talks about, but you're still like using your stream to make free option plays. Like, fuck off, bro. You're already rich. You don't need to be doing that shit. What's up, Small Fry? Moose again. What's up? Shit's wild today. Oh, yesterday it was wild. Today is I mean, today could get wild. It's crazy everything was up like 3-4% almost, and now you're flat on the day. It's still very volatile. It's pretty insane. It's a good time. But yeah, so like Apple's balance sheet, they make $30 billion a year basically. But see, they made in 2022 they made 35 billion, 23 they only made 25 billion, 24 they made 31 billion. So it's like, they're consistently absolutely crushing, but they're not really like the earnings aren't really growing anymore. I mean, you would have to do a lot more research than just look at the most recent 10K if you wanted to get like a full story. But that's kind of the thing with a lot of these stocks. You're kind of just betting on the future value, the future potential. See, like 2020, they made 50 billion, but before COVID, they were only making 25 billion, 20 billion. So, okay, actually, they are growing because now they're posting like 30 billion. So, I don't know. It looks good. I like all those companies. It's just, I'm kind of biased. I'm kind of all in GameStop. So, like, it's hard for me to be like, is it oversold? Is it a good price to buy? I don't know. Scale in is like all I can say is if you have like $1,000, maybe buy like 2 shares for now and then see where it goes from there. I don't know. Like, that's tough. Or you could just not care about the price. Like, if you're truly looking like 5, 10, 20 years in the future, like, who cares about the price, honestly? It could still be at all-time highs and it'd probably still be like decent to buy. I don't know. CGME on Open Insider. Yeah, I did see that. Larry Chang bought a 5K shares. This is whatever. Not that crazy. I'm gonna try and eat a chicken fried steak in all 50 states and rate the best or worst. I'll call it the United Steaks of America or the chicken fried states. That's amazing. Damn. I like that. The chicken fried states. Uh, that's a good one. Doing SPY moving like a meme stock. I mean, it's just volatile. It's just This, I don't know. Were you not here during like 2022? It's not really much different from that. I would say the price swings are a lot bigger because, you know, it's a lot more expensive than 2022, but price action's very similar percentage wise and everything. Really does sound very. I have no clue what you're talking about, Kristen. I don't know if I'm very confused on the. Yeah. I'll just pretend I don't know. I'll be honest though, I haven't even looked at like Apple today. All right, so that one didn't work. Yeah, short term at least. I'd imagine a lot of these aren't going to work unless they're tech, because tech's what bounced back for the most part. Confused about. You said Josh talked about 6ix9ine's girlfriend a lot. Like I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Like when you say 6ix9ine, I'm thinking about like 6ix9ine in the chat, and I'm like, that grandpa doesn't have a girlfriend. That fucking geezer, bro. What's up, Johnny, Wisconsin? I have no clue what the market's gonna do, and I don't really care. Oh, Caroline, I gotcha. Interesting. Josh's stream consists of like a lot of that stuff though, like watching the Trump live streams and Caroline and basically just like any political or economic live stream type thing. Like they always watch that shit over there. So it makes sense why he would be talking about that. He has so much energy off. I know, it's crazy, dude. He's been doing this shit for like 6, 7 years, and he's just always been like that. Like I don't get it. I mean, it's got to be pretty fun when you have like thousands of people in your stream, but that dude is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, that's up a tiny bit. Yeah, this chat set for members only chatting. It's because when the market gets like super volatile like this, a lot of people get really interested in the stock market, and that's the place to go, really. Well, I mean, it has been for the past 6, 7 years, so like everyone knows that stream. I would assume. So when the market gets like this, you know, that's where they're going. They're not going to a GameStop stream. They're going to Stock Market Live. You know, it's in the fucking name. When you type in Stock Market Live, I mean that's who pops up, I'm pretty sure. So like, you know, you gotta put it on members only because people are fucking annoying in bear market. I mean, people are annoying in general in the stock market, but imagine when they're losing a bunch of money. Like, good lord. Yeah, see, he's the third streamer down, basically. Oh, that's not even a stream. That's a video. That's odd. Very odd. YouTube's algorithm sucks. Interesting. Yeah, but either way, he's definitely the biggest stock stream. Well, there's actually an Indian one because the stock market and YouTube is fucking massive in India. And they crush. But other than that, there's no stream bigger than Josh's. At least I think they're the India one. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I could probably find it, but it's been a while. I think it's this one. No. I don't know. I don't think it's that one. Whatever. Whatever. Either way, he's definitely the biggest stream. Driving in my Tesla in Manhattan, listening here. Is it the Tesla driving you? Or are you driving the Tesla? Curry stock? What? What are you talking about, Trisha? Curry. Curry! I see Sally's Beauty Holdings is one of the ones that I really like. It definitely is more volatile, but it's not, that thing's, I know, it was up in the morning. But this one's interesting. One of the more interesting picks, just because it's like 820 market cap, 820 million. You're almost at 2020. I mean, you are at 2020 lows, and last time you were at 2020 lows, this thing almost tripled. But I think it's actually has growing earnings, if I'm not mistaken. I went through a whole spreadsheet of like 400 companies over the weekend and plan on not buying a single one, but we can still look at them if you want. Maybe. See, they're not growing earnings, but they're still making, past 2 years they made 180 million. They posted 150 million last year. It's not bad, but I mean their assets are 2.8 million and they only have a 820 million market cap, so like pretty good. They got a decent amount of cash. Pretty decent pick. I don't know how much it'll keep selling, but it's not terrible. It's not a terrible one. Possible double, if it keeps selling off. I mean, yeah, I don't know. This has been a very consistent place it bounces off of, but will it do it again? Hard to say. But even as, for a more long-term pick, if you think it could go back to like $23-$30, if that can happen in the next like 5 years, it's not bad. A double in 5 years isn't terrible. And you're, it IPO'd at these prices back in 2006, and it hasn't paid a dividend, so it's not like the price is getting clapped because of a dividend or anything. It's just I don't really know exactly. You'd have to research more if you like really wanted to dive in the story, but I don't know. I'm just showing you guys stocks that I looked at over the weekend. If that's like what you want. GameStop's cool, we love GameStop. I love Chewy too. I don't know what that's at, but I'm gonna look. What is Chewy at? 31.50. Still holding. It's still holding. American Airlines, I would say, is probably one of the better airline picks. If you go on the Whale Wisdom, it's like crazy heavily shorted. It's weird. Bad. My bad, I'll get rid of the ads. But leisure is getting absolutely clapped right now, so it's just hard to say if airlines or anything like that will be good. But a lot of people thought that back in 2020, and then they crushed. So who knows? That's the interesting thing about buying stocks right now is there's so much potential if you're willing to look outside the box from like your normal typical tech stocks, but those should be good too. I don't know. It's either way, it's a bet. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't. But yeah, American Airlines is decent. But like I said, leisure is pretty risky right now. What is this? Oh, this is a tech one. So this one probably bounced back pretty decent. A lot of these like random tech stocks I was looking at were down like 50%. No, this thing's hasn't really moved. I mean, it was up a little bit, like 50 cents. Not really anything though. And this is newer, so I don't know. Probably not going to be any compelling like value things that I looked at because these are all like longer term plays and most people are focused on tech right now. I would imagine. Yeah, Marquetta had a decent. Never mind. Never mind. Seen firsthand that the people that love Tesla now hate it. It's funny how people can change their minds so fast. I know, and then soon the cars will be able to drive themselves and people will love it again. I mean, I guess they can already kind of drive themselves, but the Prankator. So, haven't seen that name in here before. The Prankator. And a lot of the picks were energy. I imagine these won't be up because energy's been getting clapped. Yeah, like none of these stocks are up. It's because nobody cares about value for now. Ziff Davis. Yeah, Ziff Davis went up a little bit. But now it's just everything like went up and just clapped out. This went up a little bit. Deluxe Corp. How do you like that? That's how I feel about that. Don't you dare talk to the ladies in my chat. You have some respect. You have some respect, sir. Some weirdos, bro. Never even seen that name before. He's just coming in here. Oh, are you female? Oh, dude. Dude, is that a female, dude? Dude. Females are interested in stocks? That's crazy. Stock shouties. Female enough. Yeah, a lot of these value picks haven't moved at all. But if the market keeps on selling, they could be crazy. I mean, some of them are crazy now. Like, a lot of them are pretty solid companies. They've lost a lot of value. But they're still risky because they're just value. Like, you don't really know if they'll ever get attention again or anything, even if they are decent. A lot of people don't really care. That's why they have such decent upside. Because if they do work out, bruh. Oh my god. That's ridiculous, sir. You, sir, are ridiculous. I feel like this one's kind of interesting. It's lost almost half of its value since beginning of the year. I mean, it's been selling off pretty much since 2022, so nothing like really special there or anything, but I mean, it's a buy on this list, so what did I say about it? Turnaround potential, insiders fire, price is interesting. So you got insiders, balance sheet must be good, especially if the income keeps going up. But who knows? A lot of these value stocks, you gotta like a lot of these are just like I researched for maybe 5 minutes each. I don't know if that. So if you really wanted to dive in and see if it's worth buying, I mean, you never know. See, like Marriott's getting absolutely destroyed. You're below COVID lows on Marriott. Marriott's a pretty massive company that does pretty well, but you know, it's just that leisure. No, this is resorts and casinos. But I would say that that is leisure. It's just getting absolutely clapped. But shit, you're down you're above $80 on Marriott before the market started going down. Now you're $50. Crazy. Crazy. And I'd imagine like Marriott's pretty decent. I'll look at the balance sheet real quick. Even though I already did. GME is life. 35. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Isn't it weird that oh no, crypto's actually getting absolutely clapped right now. It was at 80K earlier. So that's interesting. See, Marriott's making 200 million a year. I mean, the earnings are declining. They made 400 million in 22, 250 million in 23, 217 million in last year. So they are declining, but pretty massive company doing pretty well. You can get it almost half the price as freaking 4 months ago, you know. Almost 10 billion in assets, and the market cap's at 2 billion. Or oh, I don't know what it's at. 1.8 billion, so not bad. 4 months ago, it was a 4 billion, $5 billion company. Don't own any GME, don't talk to me. Seem to be following Bitcoin in some way. Sorta. I mean, Bitcoin was up in the morning, and I think we were down. I don't know. I ain't worried about the price these days. I don't really care what happens. What's up, Shadow? See, this thing's back at prices you haven't seen since 2018. Amoresco. This was at before the market started going down. This was at $25. Now you're at $10. Kind of crazy. That was a 500 million market cap. Like, where's my? There it is. See, making. See, that's the issue with most. Like, this is why. This is the reason. Like, I came to the conclusion that I only wanted to buy GameStop because, you know, a lot of these companies are decent and have lost a lot of their value, and they could be good buys, but every single fucking one of them has declining earnings. Like, there was maybe like 5 that out of the 400 companies I looked at that had earnings that were like going up, or they were losing a ton of money and they were on a turnaround potentially. Like, pretty much all of these companies have declining earnings. It's honestly pathetic. And then there's GameStop that is absolutely going to crush. It's just that's literally why like I stopped caring about or I did all that research over the weekend, and then I was literally like, fuck this. Like, they all have trash earnings. Absolute trash. Some of them are good. And the values are good, unless they were overvalued to begin with, I guess, but yeah. It's fucking crazy. Little penny stock action here. Potential 4x. And I'm pretty sure the earnings were pretty good. But probably declining. See? 138, 104, 67, like declining. Declining earnings. Still a killer company, and they're not going anywhere, but what if they decline into the negative? Then it's like, that's not a very good long-term investment. You're supposed to have a long-term investment that's gonna fucking grow, not something that's declining. I'm not saying that, you know, short-term price action there might be some opportunity. Who knows? But if you're looking longer term, I don't know. Hard to say. Let's go. What's up? Let's go. Let's go. See, Lear Corp. This is kind of growing. Made 400 million in 22, 645 in 23, 591 in 24. So this one's like actually pretty good. 14 billion assets. I think it's an energy company though. So pretty volatile. Oh, no, auto parts. Auto parts. Was it 94 bucks? That one looks okay. You're at COVID lows. Decent amount of upside. And the company's okay, so like, I don't know. That one's pretty good. It's definitely the best one we've looked at so far, I would say. Energy. I don't know. None of these stocks are just interesting. Some of them are, but not interesting enough. See, like this one's trash. You know, they were making 140 million 2022. Then they lost 6 million. Then they only made 3. Like, what's up with that? Could they turn it around? Potentially, but who knows? I don't know if it's worth the bet. When, you know, you can just bet on GameStop, I guess. Is the point I'm trying to get at, is why we're still looking at these. And also, I have nothing else to do. Let's be real. I literally have nothing else to do. There's no news or anything like that, I'm sure. New L brands. This is like, I think this is like Tupperware and stuff, if I remember right. Yeah. Just your basic, like, you guys probably all know what this is, honestly. And before the market started going down, this was a $10 stock, and it was looking like decently, somewhat like it was trying to make a bullish trend. Obviously, it's only been selling off for the past 5 years, but that's the interesting part about these value stocks, is they're in the shitter right now, but if that ever goes back to, you know, $20 around there, even if it goes back to 10, you know, that's a 2x, 4x, depending where it goes. And then if it ever goes back to all-time highs, that's insane. That's a fucking 10x. I would say, depending what the earnings look like, I would say it's pretty interesting. Better market Tings. What's up, Kev? So, I had a bunch of pretentious peeps telling me it's not a croissant, it's a I have no what. Oh yeah, see this one was making money and then they lost a bunch in 23 and now it seems like they're trying to make a comeback but declining earnings again. It's just it's ridiculous. A lot of the charts look interesting, but then you go look at the company and it's like, could it actually work out? I don't know. That's hard to say. It's hard to say if that could actually work out. You definitely could still pull like a 2-3x out of it, even if it is shit. But doesn't mean it's gonna happen. Helmrich Payne. I think Michael Burry made a bet on this, if I'm not mistaken. Or Icon, one of the two. Well, it wasn't Burry. I think it was Icon. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know who it was. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I think I'm thinking of something else. But anyway, oil and gas. Oh yeah, I'm definitely thinking of something else. That's oil and gas. That is not even the company I'm thinking of. See, this thing's kind of crushing. They made 7 million in 22, 434 million in 23, and then 344 million in 24. But it's also likely they've been selling assets to post that, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's just been absolutely crushing. But, you know, this thing's down. This was at $33 before the market started selling off. There's so much potential right now for like just random value stocks. But they're just kind of risky. Because who knows how much they keep selling. But there's just potential all over. I don't know if this is interesting to you guys, but it's interesting to me. Even though I'm not going to buy any of this shit. Still just cool to see. Maybe someone's looking for things to buy and, you know, here's some ideas. Should you buy them? Probably not. But at least there's some decent ideas. I don't know. Let's see if there's any news. I'm done with this. You get the idea. If you want me to keep going. I mean, I'm almost at the end of the list, but let me know if you want me to keep doing that. But I'm done with it for now. And if you yourself want to find, you know, companies to look at, most of these I found through Open Insider. So it's a good way to find new stocks and, you know, if insiders are buying it, sometimes it's pretty good. We got any whales? Huge whale, 50 shares. Massive. Mitch. Yeah, that was Mitch. He was laughing when I told you guys not to buy any of that shit. I mean, I would buy it if I wasn't all in GameStop. Probably just a little bit, though. I thought it was a laugh track. That'd be genius. I wish I had a laugh track. That'd be so sick. WD-40 company? No way. Is that like the actual like oil in a can? Sort of.
What WD stands for?
What?
Water displacement.
Oh, it is, I think.
40 times a day, right?
WD-40. You can buy this shit, bro, on the stock market. That's sick. Someone got deleted. What happened? You clapped him for that? Why'd you clap him for that? That's hilarious. I don't even think that's that bad. You clapped him for that? That's funny. That's hilarious. Stupid question. Damn. Moose is ruthless, bro. We got a ruthless mod on our hands. That's crazy. Stupid question. I like that. We had a good pit. The wheel chose right, bro. The wheel chose Moose for a reason. And now I'm seeing why. I liked that. Let's see what WD-40 Co. is up to. Damn, this thing's not bad. They consistently make 60, 70 billion, or a little over 60 million, 65-ish. Total asset. See, that's stock's possibly overvalued though. 3 billion market cap. They only have 500 million assets. It's not that great. So, could be good potential like future buy, but it's not good right now. The market's like really pricing in something crazy, it seems like, with that. But still, something to keep on watch for sure. Matter of fact. I wonder if it has insiders. Oh wait, we gotta just go through this way. Else it's not gonna give us everything. Nothing really on insiders, but at least it has some insiders, I guess. Really small. Definitely something you want to be looking for, I suppose, if you care about that kind of stuff. It's nice to have money behind you, I feel like, in something you're buying. That's why we love GameStop so much. Needed this. Oh, I could have literally just copied and pasted this. Convenient. Yeah, fun stuff. Sorry, had to put that in the spreadsheet. I didn't know WD-40 had a company. Looks interesting. Watch the stream about the hype date. Oh, peace out, Jared. You have a good one, bro. I appreciate you always supporting the stream. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. All right. Let's see if we can find some news to read about. Paywalled article. That's really cool. Really love paywalled articles. Moose high on power. And Matthew are the nice mods. Yeah, I've never seen Trisha clap anyone either. You gotta have ruthless mods. See, I wouldn't have clapped that guy for that, but the fact Moose did makes me know that was the right pick. Is there any news about any tariff deals being made with other countries? I have no clue. I haven't been following the tariff stuff. I honestly don't even care. I don't care about the tariff stuff. I haven't really read into it. Like, I know it's happening, whatever, but I don't sit and read about it every day because I literally don't care what's happening with tariffs. I'd rather read about like gaming news or something. But if I see something, I'll pull up an article and we can read it. What did he ask? Oh, he just asked if GameStop would squeeze or something like that. Moose wasn't having it. Ryan Cohen deleted his fish tweet. Moas confirmed. Nice. Jill fought that fish. Should we read let's read this story. I guess. I don't think it's a real story, but customer refuses to help a kid at GameStop find a particular game, but the boy's mom thinks the customer is an employee and tries to get him fired. I don't know if I really even want to read this because I don't even think it's legit, but could be funny. Who knows? If you were shopping at a store and a kid came up to you and asked you to help them find something, would you help them? In today's story, one customer finds himself in that position, but the kid is pretty rude. Instead of helping, this customer is rude back. Situation escalates when the kid's mom gets involved. Let's see how the story plays out. I got reported to management for a company I don't work for. Happened a few years ago. Friend and I decided to hit up GameStop to see if there was anything worth buying. This is definitely written by AI. Just the way it's like paragraphed like this, it's gotta be It's got to be AI, right? Anyway, I mean, let's see how good an AI article can be. I just happened to be wearing a polo shirt and had a lanyard ID around my neck because I had just left the office. This kid comes up to me in the Xbox section and asks me if a certain game is available for PS3. He must have been 12, knowing a fair bit about video games. I happen to know that yes, this title was available on multiple consoles. Kid seems kind of demanding. I went ahead and answered him in the affirmative, yes, this title was available. For PS3, he simply says, "Get it for me." I pause and look down at the kid. "Excuse me. Get it for me, I want to buy it." He told the kid to get the game himself. I tell him, "How about you go get it yourself? The shelf's right there," and points off to the. This has to be AI. I don't. Whatever. I'll read it. I'll continue to read it, but this has to be AI. I start to turn away, and he forcefully demands again that I get him in this game. I went ahead and kneeled so that I was eye level, and I told him, "If you want the game so bad, walk your butt over there and pick it up. I'm not your servant." Kid runs to get his mom. They thought the situation was funny. My buddy and I are having a good chuckle at this. We get our games and head off to stand in line. While we're making our way through the line, here comes the kid again with his mom in tow. This GameStop is attached to a bookstore, so I guess mom decided to let GameStop babysit her little hellspawn while she sneaked off to look at 50 Shades of Lame. The mom is really upset. Mom is throwing a fit at the front, saying that some employee told her child to walk his butt over the shelf and get a game himself. She demands that said employee be fired. Right about now, my buddy and I are stepping up to the register to pay our games. While mom and her kid are looking for said employee, the kids look at me and that's him. OP and his friend find the situation even funnier. Mom just explodes on me with a ton of vitriol. She's going to have me fired, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, my buddy and I are cracking up. He's telling me stuff like, "Oh no, you're going to get fired, dude," or asking the person ringing us up if we can have my employee discount before I'm terminated. The circus is only causing me to laugh harder, which in turn making her even more angry. Now the lady has a chance to talk to the manager. In the midst of me on the verge of tears from laughing, this lady losing her mind, my buddy goading this woman on further and messing with the GameStop employees, asking for my employee discount. Manager comes up front and asks what's going on. Lady explains how I was rude to her son and refused to do my job, how I used foul language at her child, how I was unprofessional, she wanted me gone, etc. Manager put the lady in her place. Manager looks at me, looks back at this lady, at me, back at the lady, and tells her, "Ma'am, he doesn't work for GameStop." Dead silence. My buddy then speaks up, so I take it as a no on the employee discount. I love his buddy's line at the end. That's hilarious. Really should have used nicer language towards the kid, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that was a really dumb article. I regret reading that. I regret reading that. That was a waste of time. I bet I could have AI write that for me. Autistic AI. It's Grok. They wrote that on Grok. Does AI become satire now? Maybe I don't know. That was a weird. That was just weird. Quite weird. Financials and utilities leading up today. Materials leading the way out. Breaking discretionary flat. Or consume. Did I say breaking? Consumer discretionary flat. Thought you were reading a Reddit post or something. Maybe it was. That's what I felt like. Breaking news. What's the breaking news? Is the news breaking? Mortgage rates slingshot higher. Well, obviously this isn't working. Rates are supposed to go down. Warren Buffett's net worth is up so far in 25. Rest of the world's 15 wealthiest people have lost money. It's almost like bonds are kind of good or something. Is there really no articles? Twitch starts refunding subs to permaban channels. That could be interesting. We did read about that. Don't know who that is. Adventure Time collab and Fortnite. Yippee. Corey Kenshin's original manga series sets US sales record and rivals Japan's greatest works. Interesting. I want to read that. Ethan Klein set to face major defamation lawsuit. Schedule 1 under investigation for alleged copyright infringement. Check that out. Man's attempt to use AI representative in court instantly backfires. What? Hey, at least there's some articles to read. That's cool. YouTuber's speech at Melee themed funeral for Smash Pro hacks draws death threat. That's interesting. YouTuber posts video of himself rapping after allegedly killing someone. That's crazy. There's some weird news right now. I want to read this one. YouTube star Corey Kenshin took a 1.5-year hiatus from the internet to cook up his own manga, and it's been a big hit, selling an eye-popping number of copies at launch. Corey Kenshin is one of the most popular gaming YouTubers on the platform, boasting over 21 million subscribers who tune in for his hilarious videos, playing through popular horror titles. However, the internet icon suddenly went radio silent in 23. He disappeared for over a year until late 24, when he returned with a video explaining his lengthy absence was due to a new project he's working on. Monsters We Make sells 200,000 copies, Volume 2 confirmed. That project was an original sci-fi horror manga called Monsters We Make, which has already become a big hit with fans. In fact, the manga's first volume sold 200,000 copies in its first week, making it one of the fastest-selling independently published manga series in the United States. That's not all. Thanks to its success, a second volume of Monsters We Make has been confirmed, which is slated for publication in late 25. Monsters We Make is a playground for me to exercise all the ideas and life experiences I've collected from the decades of being a spectator, creating a story that scrutinizes humanity and makes us tick, injecting some of the black representation I've been longing to see in this space, and finally adding in some sprinkles of my faith in God were the driving forces behind this project. It meant a lot to see a character like the Raikage from Naruto in a space where you don't typically see black characters, let alone powerful ones. My hope is that my main character, Jabari, can be to people what Goku was to me growing up. This experience, while a ton of work, has been incredibly fun and fulfilling. Corey's been hard at work on this original manga, even taking another month offline to focus wholly on business before getting back to making YouTube videos. While this endeavor has taken him away from creating content for his not so patient fan base, he's made it clear that he isn't abandoning his YouTube channel and is holding firm on his promise to upload 100 videos in 2025. Okay. That's crazy. YouTube is crazy. Schedule 1 under investigation for alleged copyright infringement. Schedule 1, the indie drug dealing simulator that took over the Steam charts, is under investigation over alleged copyright infringement. For the past few weeks, big releases like Monster Hunt Wilds, Assassin's Creed Shadows, and Split Fiction have been keeping players busy. That was initially the case before the indie simulation title Schedule 1 took over and became one of the most played games thus far in 2025. Even 2 weeks after its early access release, the drug dealing simulation game is still gaining momentum with a massive player count. Well, it's all been on the upswing. Schedule 1 is now facing its first big hurdle, as spotted by Insider Gaming. The game is now under investigation for alleged copyright infringement. Created by solo developer TVGS, Schedule 1 involves crafting and selling a plethora of different drugs, which you can mix with different ingredients for some wacky effects, such as anti-gravity and even explosives. It attracted the attention of Movie Games SA, which has its own series of drug-dealing simulation games. On April 3rd, 2025, the publisher demanded Schedule 1 to be investigated, as seen in a document titled Movie Games SA 17-2025. Decision to commence investigation against the creators of the Schedule 1 production for claims regarding the infringement of the issuer's IP and related to committing an act of unfair competition against it. According to the document, potential infringement of the issuer's intellectual property rights and activities that may bear the characteristics of unfair competition have been identified. The investigation began on March 24th, when Schedule 1 was released. This was followed by a comparative analysis of the company's IP, including the drug dealer simulator games as well as Schedule 1. As for the details of the investigation itself, it's mentioned that they are looking into elements of the game plot, mechanics, as well as UI. The creator of Schedule 1 is yet to respond at the time of writing, though that hasn't stopped fans from fighting back. Drug Dealer Simulator currently has an overwhelmingly negative review on Steam, as angry and disappointed players have review bombed games from the rival studio. Dexerto has received comment from Movie Games in which they explain there's no lawsuit and that it's not our intention to prevent TVGS from selling or developing their game. They continued to explain that the analysis and investigation were necessary in the light of repeating opinions that the games are very similar. By not investigating it, Movie Games, being a publicly traded company, could face severe consequences for negligence. The above was communicated via ESPI, a stock market communication system, where we are obligated to publish such information with full transparency. Not publishing it would also be a case of negligence, from there it was picked up by the media, and in some cases wrongly reported as a lawsuit. There's no ill will towards TVGS. We even mailed them best wishes shortly before the release, when the game was already huge, but before the investigation was deemed necessary. However, we are obligated to perform this investigation, act accordingly to the scope of the infringement if it is confirmed, and inform the public about it via ESPI. Okay, well, that was pointless to read that, but whatever. I seen it online, looks fun. I haven't even looked up gameplay of it, but it must be fun. If it's beating Split Fiction, must be a really good game. Man's attempt to use AI representative in court instantly backfires. A plaintiff's attempt to use artificial intelligence in the New York State Supreme Court quickly went awry as a judge yelled across the courtroom to pull the plug. When Jerome DeWald, a plaintiff in an employment dispute, was scheduled to speak to the New York State Supreme Court on March 26, 2025, someone else, or rather something else, spoke instead. Rather than delivering his own opening presentation, DeWald instead turned to artificial intelligence, relying on an AI avatar to do the job for him. What appeared on the courtroom television screen was a light-skinned, blonde-haired male, entirely AI generated. Mere seconds into the opening statement from the AI avatar, Justice Sally Manzanet Daniels, one of the 5 judges on the panel, interrupted and cut the video off before blasting the plaintiff for all to hear. Dewald put in special requests prior to the court date. While he didn't get explicit permission for an AI-generated legal assistant, he did claim to have asked for permission to play a pre-recorded video in the court. To the surprise of the judges on the day, Dewald's pre-recorded video wasn't of himself. According to the Associated Press, he sought to generate an AI avatar of himself with the help of San Francisco tech company. However, as time ran short, he pivoted to using the generic avatar we all saw. The purpose was to allow Dewald to have his opening speech delivered seamlessly, as he allegedly struggled with mumbling. The effort was for naught in the end, as the AI's appearance in the courtroom was short-lived. Okay, hold on, is that the counsel for the case? Justice Sally Manzanet Daniels questioned. Proceeding to have the video turned off entirely. I generated that. It's not a real person, Dewald replied. It would have been nice to know that when you made your application, the judge fired back. You did not tell me that, sir. I don't appreciate being misled. You have appeared before this court and been able to testify verbally in the past, so either you are suffering from an ailment that prevents you from being able to articulate, or you don't. I don't know what that says. Furthermore, the judge alleged that Dewald was simply using his time in court as a launching pad for a new AI-focused company. You're not going to use this courtroom as a launch for your business, sir, she said. They chewed me up pretty good, Dewald later said in an interview with the Associated Press. The court was really upset about it. He eventually filed an apology to the court. Okay. Okay. Mr. Beast sues ex-employee. That could be something. Mr. Beast. 6,000. Someone said chicken jockey in the chat yesterday. I don't remember who it was, but I finally learned what it was. I watched this video, and I think that shit's ridiculous. Chicken jockey. I can't wait to see what this game is. April 12th. A chicken jockey. Oh, yeah, I forgot about those glasses. I need to watch a video on those. Oh. The hell? I don't know who to watch. Who does good tech reviews? Usually I would just watch Marquise, but Marquise hasn't done one for these. I'll go with this one.
Sponsored by Incogni. Watch was poised for a comeback. Nearly.
That guy's annoying, but at least that'll remind me to watch this later. I'll probably choose a different YouTuber. My arms feel like pool noodles. I did triceps earlier. Feels good. The news is like really lacking lately. It's pretty lame. What's that? Touch companion for us all. Will have its own name, its own style, it adapt to you. You also have its own visual appearance. What the hell? That sounds weird. What did that say? Middle-aged man cards from Japan? They're making Quake 2? Oh, AI generated Quake 2. Where'd that other article go? I wanted to see. It like disappeared. Oh, or this one. I don't know if I'll read that whole thing, but. What's up, Luis Vega? Flory Vibes, what's up? I'm not doing more DoorDash videos. So demanding. Why should I do DoorDash videos just cuz you say I should? It's funny how many comments and stuff I get on those DoorDash videos. How they're like such good videos and I'm such a good YouTuber and yada yada yada. And nobody's ever in the stream from those videos. It's like you guys that's the weird part about making content is people don't like they just like you for the content a lot of the time, like 99% of the time. They don't really like care about you as like a person. They just if you make a video they like in a style they like that's what they want. Breaking news, GME is exactly where it is. Facts. That it is. Oh, well, at least we got a few articles, I guess. None of them really that interesting, but guess we'll start with Mr. Beast. All right. Mr. Beast is taking an ex-employee to court. The star YouTuber behind the 100 million Beast Games Amazon Prime reality TV show has accused a former IT staffer of stealing secrets and installing hidden cameras across his Greenville, North Carolina headquarters, and is asking a judge to have all improperly acquired information about his company returned. According to April 4th lawsuit, as reported by Polygon, Leroy Nabors was hired by the Mr. Beast YouTube company back in 2023, and before he was fired last October, downloaded more than 1,000 Beast confidential files. The alleged trade secrets heist included highly confidential information about business strategy, financial information, capitalization tables, financing documents, individual employee personal information, and other Mr. Beast intellectual property. An investigation into Nabor's activity before he was fired allegedly uncovered a series of hidden cameras. The company believes he and his daughter, who ran an IT firm he subcontracted out to, secretly controlled. When confronted about the alleged downloading of proprietary company information, including to a personal Dropbox account, Nabors claimed it was just a standard company backup procedure, according to legal filing. Donaldson is now suing the ex-employee both for damages and for the return of any stolen information. The new legal battle comes just months after the YouTuber faced a class action lawsuit from former contestants of the Beast Game show, alleging mistreatment and negligence during filming that led to safety issues and other harms. Donaldson called the claims blown out of proportion as he tried to wrestle back control of his 350-person company's narrative. Amid increasing scrutiny, final episode of the first season aired in February and saw the winning contestant earn 10 million for guessing the correct briefcase that was holding the prize. I haven't seen Beast Games, so I've only seen the first few episodes that were on YouTube. Waymo has no plans to sell ads to riders based on camera data. Rumors circulated today that robotaxi company Waymo might use data from vehicles' interior cameras to train AI and sell targeted ads to riders. However, the company has tried to quell concerns, insisting that it won't be targeting ads to passengers. The situation arose after researcher and engineer Jane Manchun Wong discovered an unreleased version of Waymo's privacy policy that suggested the robotaxi company could start using data from its vehicles to train generative AI. The draft policy has language allowing customers to opt out of Waymo using your personal information, including interior camera data associated with your identity for training GAI. Wong's discovery also suggested that Waymo could use the camera footage to sell personalized ads to riders. Later in the day, The Verge obtained comments on this unreleased privacy policy from Waymo's spokesperson Julia Alina. Waymo systems are not designed to use this data to identify individual people, and there are no plans to use this data for targeted ads, she said. Alina said the version found by Wong featured a placeholder text that doesn't accurately reflect the feature's purpose, and noted that the feature was still in development. It will not introduce any changes to Waymo's privacy policy, but rather will offer riders an opportunity to opt out of data collection for ML training purposes. Hopefully, Waymo holds to those statements. Privacy and security are huge concerns as AI companies try to feed their models as much information as possible. Waymo is owned by Alphabet, and Google is developing its own AI assistant Gemini, as well as other AI projects with its DeepMind division. What's the rest of the market doing? Market's down now. White House says 104% China tariffs take effect at midnight. Josh Brown says this is a classic bear market bounce. I mean, I can agree with that. It was interesting when GameStop was going up for a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. The tariff stuff's just not interesting. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it affects everything when it's all said and done. When it's all said and done, 6 months to a year from now, when you actually see the effects, then then maybe I'll care a little bit more. Okay. As part of Microsoft's, how long is this article? Okay. As part of Microsoft's 50th anniversary celebration, it's been talking a lot about its past, but also its future. One doesn't need a crystal ball to figure out what that will entail. According to the CEO of Microsoft's AI division, we're all going to be seeing a lot more of Copilot and ultimately digital companions powered by AI that will form a lasting, meaningful relationship with you. This is all claimed by Mustafa Suleyman, the head of Microsoft's AI section, and he expounded on what this would all be like in an interview with the Associated Press. My goal is really to create a true personal AI companion, and the definition of AGI sort of feels very far out to me, and sort of not what I'm focused on in the next few years. As to what he means by a companion, he explained by saying Microsoft's AI technology will be one that knows your name, gets to know you, has a memory of everything that you've shared with it and talked about, and really comes to kind of live life alongside you, he told AP. It's far more than just a piece of software or a tool. It is unlike anything we've really ever created. AI is already a big part of everything that Microsoft churns out these days, all wrapped under the moniker of Copilot, from Office to Notepad, full operating systems to Surface laptops. The chatbot on steroids is ever present, but at least one never has to interact with it. I'm not suggesting for one moment that some aspects of the integration of Copilot aren't useful. For the right user, the features provide a variety of shortcuts to boost productivity or gain better insights into what you're doing. Like all software tools, it can be very useful or very useless. However, it's clear that Solomon's envisages something rather different for the future of Microsoft's AI. And we're not just talking about things in the far future. Some of this will start to roll out relatively soon, starting with Microsoft's mobile applications, which will gain some kind of visual memory capability that sounds very much like the much delayed Recall. Solomon is no recent convert to the world of AI. Nearly 25 years ago, he co-founded and led DeepMind, a UK-based AI company that would ultimately be snapped up by Alphabet, Google's parent company, in 2014. DeepMind is famous for creating AlphaGo, an AI system that could give some professional Go masters a run for their money. After leaving Google in 2022, Solomon went on to start up another artificial intelligence company, Inflection AI, before eventually joining Microsoft as the executive vice president and chief executive officer of its AI division in 2024. While clearly a big fan of AI and what it can do for us, he's also been vocal proponent for the enforcement of AI ethics and the like. However, he's also well known for having a view that pretty much anything on the internet is fair game to be used for AI training, which rather flies in the face of copyright laws. While attending this year's Game Developer Conference, I saw an awful lot of stands, press talks, and lectures on AI in games and gaming, artificial NPCs, artificial gaming buddies, artificial advice, artificial rendering. AI couldn't be escaped. We might not see Solomon's vision of an overly attached AI companion anytime soon, But given how much money Microsoft and the rest of the tech world are spending on all of this right now, you can be sure that it will happen. You can be sure. I mean, I won't have an AI companion unless, like, it can. I don't know. I don't think I want one. I'm good. I'm good on the AI companion, I think. Let's see. Samsung rakes in nearly 5 billion profit from companies hoarding memory chips like Smog, ahead of Trump's tumultuous tariffs. As major US tariffs are starting to disrupt manufacturers, Samsung managed to get a small boon as customers bought its memories and phones for fear of tariffs bringing prices up. According to a report by Reuters, Samsung made an estimated operating profit of 6.6 trillion won, 4.47 billion for the January to March period this year, which is 1 billion more than the 3.4 billion estimate by the London Stock Exchange. This figure is slightly smaller than the same period last year, but higher than what Samsung made in the previous quarter. Hyundai Motor Securities head of research Greg Rowe stated that despite memory prices going down, strong demand from customers looking to secure inventory ahead of potential US tariffs helped boost Samsung's memory chip shipments. This could signal a difference in manufacturing approach for some of Samsung's clients due to an uncertain future of stock and pricing. Many companies work under the just-in-time manufacturing strategy, where inventory is only acquired as needed to reduce waste and avoid major stockpiles. This new surge in demand suggests that manufacturers buying off Samsung will be effectively hoarding memory to work in future devices. Samsung seems to have benefited heavily from the notion of tariffs, given they were sold in the January to March period, but all of it's up in the air as countries react to the constant stream of information around tariffs right now. According to Reuters, shipments are likely to decline in the second quarter. Trump put a blanket 10% tariff on all countries on April 5th, but has since raised it up to 32% for Vietnam, China, and Taiwan. Trump has further threatened to raise the tariffs on China up to 50% in response to China's retaliatory tariffs. Samsung centers its manufacturing out of a handful of countries, including Vietnam, South Korea, and India, all of which will see the effects of tariffs. Tariffs tend to hit consumers as distributors tack on the extra fee to sold goods. Raising the price of goods without raising the profit margin is a bad result for a company, as higher prices result in less demand, without the benefit of better relative profits to counteract it. This explains why some companies are buying ahead of time. Also, in response to Trump tariffs, Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders were recently held back in America. Nintendo is likely reassessing how much it charges for consoles, as it will have to honor any pre-orders made at the price it initially sells them for. The same is true of Framework, which just announced the cheaper versions of its 13-inch modular laptop would no longer be available for purchase, as it would have to sell them at a loss to keep its price point. Phone sales have also risen for Samsung in January to March period, with the preemptive sales for the Samsung Galaxy S25 going up ahead of tariffs. Laptops and phones may be just the tip of the veritable iceberg of tech good price bumps, so I'll just have to wait and see what else gets hit by tariffs. Okay. I just yeah. Couldn't read that last part of that sentence for some reason. Approaching power hour. How's the stream doing this fine day? Any good? It's just a normal stream. See, when I don't talk about GameStop all day, people tend to leave. But it's like, it's hard to talk about GameStop all day. So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Doge is reportedly using AI to monitor government comms for anti-Musk and anti-Trump chatter. Isn't that interesting though? Like talking and trying to like be entertaining. More people don't want to be here. Whereas if I just like pull up a GameStop chart and say GameStop a couple times, more people are interested in the stream. Isn't that weird? I think that's weird. I think that's very weird. A new report from Reuters has shed light on how Elon Musk's Department of Doge is employing tech in its processes, including the alleged use of artificial intelligence to monitor communications. The initiative is said to be keeping an eye out for chatter that's considered hostile toward Musk or President Trump. Some managers at the Environmental Protection Agency have reportedly been told that Doge is deploying AI to monitor communication apps and software such as the widely used Microsoft Teams for anti-Musk or anti-Trump sentiment. It said that Doge is watching out for individuals whose work didn't square with the administration's agenda. One manager reportedly told EPA staffers to be careful what you say, what you type, and what you do. The EPA didn't explicitly state whether AI was being used to monitor employees for signs of disloyalty, though it told Reuters that it was looking at AI to better optimize agency functions and administrative efficiencies. It added that it wasn't using AI as it makes personal decisions in concert with Doge. The EPA has placed nearly 600 workers on leave and pledged to cut its budget by 65% amid Doge government-wide cost slashing efforts. Meanwhile, it said that Doge staffers are using Signal to communicate with each other. This could be a violation of federal record-keeping rules, given the app's ability to automatically delete messages after a certain period of time. And that's not to mention the security risks of accidentally inviting, say, a journalist to a top secret chat about government operations. Some Doge workers are also said to be using Google Docs to edit official documents collaboratively, in effect bypassing usual vetting procedures and chains of custody. In addition, staffers are reportedly making use of Musk's chatbot Grok AI in their work, but exactly what they're doing with it remains unclear. It emerged this week that the White House wants federal agencies to make full use of American AI. Doge has been accused of operating under a shroud of secrecy. The administration has contended that since Doge is operating under the executive office of the president, it's not obligated to allow the public to request access to its records, which would be the case if it were an official government agency. Nevertheless, a federal judge last month ordered Doge to start providing records of its operations to the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, which sued for access to such documents under Freedom of Information laws. The watchdog told Reuters that as of Monday, it had received no record from Doge. Whoops. Oh well. Interesting. Alright, Twitch starts refunding subs to permaban channels following Dexerto investigations. Damn, this is a long, pretty long article for this. Twitch is refunding subscriptions to banned streamers following a Dexerto investigation. An attorney has also asked for affected users to reach out in order to pursue a potential class action lawsuit. On April 3rd, Dexerto published findings that permanently banned streamers and streamers with deleted accounts had continued to receive payments from subscribers, even though their channels were completely inaccessible. Twitch's public policy states that their reoccurring subscriptions should have been canceled. 2 of the indefinitely banned streamers were also unbanned within 24 hours after Dexerto reached out to Twitch for comment. The Amazon-owned platform said these situations were edge cases, but confirmed that all banned streamers have a grace period before their subs are canceled. The length of the grace period was not specified. In the time since, subscribers have begun to receive refunds or had their ongoing subscriptions canceled. It is not clear how many users will be getting money back. Dexerto has reviewed screenshots from users who kept paying for their subscriptions to banned streamers. In one incident, a user who subbed to SOX VR A streamer we named in our report said Twitch just issued me a refund for March and April for sub to socks. However, I never paid for April, so I just got free money from them. Dan Saltzman, another streamer, says his subscribers have been refunded as well. They finally canceling subscriptions to me today, he said on April 7th. Only at the highest effort. Finally canceling. Despite his account being deleted in November 24, Dan continued to be paid by Twitch, with his last payment coming on March 13th, 2025. Another perma-banned streamer, Violent, came forward the day our report was published. He was banned in July 24, and on April 4th, one of his subscribers' 6-month recurring sub was finally canceled. According to Violent, the subscriber received an email from Twitch alerting him to expect a refund. It's not clear if this refund will include their prior 6-month subscription from July 24 to January 25. Attorney Tom Kicker, who specializes in suing mega corporations, has been speaking to subscribers about a class action lawsuit. This problem is bigger than I thought. If any victims of this would like to speak to a lawyer about starting a potential class action, DM me, he said in response to one user who said they had their refund request denied. Kirker appeared on H3 Podcast on April 7th and called the issue a huge deal, and that he's since had a lot of victims come out and speak with me. Furthermore, more streamers are coming forward and revealing they've continued to receive payments. Kirker doesn't believe Twitch's grace period reasoning would fly, adding that this situation is between negligence on the low end and affirmative fraud on the other. I believe it's some form of deceptive trade practice. You can't be willfully ignorant and collect that much money. The attorney says he's optimistic that a lawsuit will be filed very shortly, and once that happens, Twitch will have to preserve its files. Yeah, okay. There's data coming out. Yeah, inflation data. Wednesday and Friday, I believe. And then FOMC minutes. How's everyone's weekend? It was alright. Just normal weekend. Nothing exciting. Framework is temporarily pausing U.S. sales on some of its laptops due to Trump tariffs. At a 10% tariff, we would have to sell the lowest end SKUs at a loss. Oh yeah, that one article we just read said something about this. Trump tariffs seem to be putting a thorn in the side of major hardware manufacturers, as both Nintendo and modular laptop maker Framework announced order delays in the span of just 1 week. Posted the Framework X account, Framework's tweet states, due to the new tariffs that came into effect on April 5th, we're temporarily pausing U.S. sales on a few base Framework Laptop 13 systems. In response to a follow-up question, Framework tweeted, we priced our laptops when tariffs on imports from Taiwan were 0%. At a 10% tariff, we'd have to sell the lowest end SKUs at a loss. Currently, Taiwan is a leader in producing electronics, thanks partly to the presence of TSMC, the world's biggest semiconductor manufacturer. A blanket tariff was placed on all countries initially, but tariffs on Taiwan have since jumped up to 32%. Semiconductors are reportedly exempt from these tariffs, but products that use semiconductors aren't, meaning electronics from Taiwan will still be hit. Taiwan has offered no reciprocal tariffs in the hopes of developing talks with President Trump. This leaves companies relying on Taiwan manufacturing in a difficult position of uncertainty. This is why Framework has announced it is only temporarily pausing U.S. sales, as everything is up in the air right now. The hope remains that removing models may one day go back up on sale. The more expensive 13-inch Framework laptops have so far been unaffected by this announcement and remains at the same price. This means customers in the US can still buy the Intel Ultra 7 155H model for $1019, Okay. So you can still buy the higher end ones, I guess. The Intel model that is no longer available to buy sold for $799 at 9% off on March 31st. And the Ryzen 5 7640U model sold for $749 at 10% off on the same day. Now is the time of writing. The cheapest way to get an Intel pre-built model is by paying just under $400 more for the Ultra 7 155H model. You can, however, still get the Ryzen 5 7640U with a 2K display for $899. Okay, whatever. The transparency here is notable as Framework claims other consumer good makers have performed the same calculations and taken the same actions, though most have not been open about it. Many manufacturers shipping to the U.S. are likely in the middle of reassessing costs for their products. As tariff talks continue, Framework is unlikely to be the last to make a public statement around it. Framework's only follow-up since announcing the suspension of some sales is a meme complaining about tariffs giving them headaches. Same, Framework, same. Tariffs. Tariffs. Apparently nobody's here. Apparently nobody wanted to answer your question. There's 15 people here. Nice slow stream for today. A nice slow stream. Damn, energy's getting wrecked. Oil's below $60 now. That's crazy. A GameStop on the insider buy. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And Nike on here. Well. Well. I think I read this yesterday off stream. Or maybe I read it on stream. I don't know. China says it will fight to the end after Trump threatens 50% additional tariffs. I swear I read this yesterday, but I don't know. China's Commerce Ministry said it resolutely opposes U.S. President Trump's threat of escalating tariffs and vowed to take countermeasures to safeguard its own rights and interests. Comments came after Trump said he would impose an additional 50% duty on U.S. imports from China on Wednesday if Beijing does not withdraw the 34% tariff it imposed on American products last week. The U.S. threat to escalate tariffs on China is a mistake on top of a mistake, the statement said. China will never accept it. If the U.S. insists on its own way, China will fight to the end. Last Friday, China's finance ministry announced 34% in additional tariffs on all goods imported from the U.S., starting April 10th, in retaliation for Trump imposing new levies of 34% on China. The across-the-board tariffs followed two previous rounds of 10%, 15% tariffs, targeting mostly agriculture and energy products imported from the U.S. The broadened tariff scope reflects the Chinese leadership's diminished hopes for a trade deal with the U.S. Trump's 34% tariffs on China were on top of the 20% duties rolled out since February, bringing the total new tariffs this year on China to 54%. The additional levies have lifted the U.S. weighted average tariff rate on China to as high as 65% and could dent China's economy by 1.5 to 2 percentage points this year. Since China already faces more than 60% in tariff rate, it doesn't really matter if it goes up by 50% or 500%, said Tianzhen Zhu, senior economist at the Economist Intelligence Unit, suggesting Beijing is prepared for a full-on trade war with the U.S. China is on the defensive side, but basically the two sides are testing each other's limits, Zhu said. As risks of an intense U.S.-China trade war rise, Beijing might resort to further retaliatory measures, such as stopping purchases of U.S. agriculture goods, matching U.S. tariffs, and further expansion of export controls on metals and minerals, Zhu added. Gme axing Cadillac XT6 crossover, extending production of another vehicle in Tennessee. Beijing has already placed export curbs on key rare earth elements, prohibited exports of dual-use items to a dozen of U.S. entities, and added U.S. firms to its unreliable entities list, subjecting them to broader restrictions while operating in China. The People's Bank of China on Tuesday set the midpoint rate for onshore yuan at 7.2 per dollar, the weakest level since September 23. According to the data provider Wind Information, the yuan is allowed to trade within 2% band of this midpoint range. The yuan's weakening is a big signal, Robert Brooks, senior fellow at the Brookings Institution, told CNBC's Squawk Box Asia. This is Beijing politely saying this is getting a little too much. We're putting you on notice. We can devalue if we want, and bigger things may come if you keep this up. This is a clear shot across the bow of Washington. Chinese onshore yuan weakened as much as 0.39% to 7.33 per dollar, while the offshore yuan was little changed. Trump has shown few signs of backing down on tariffs despite the mounting pressure in the financial markets and signs of frustration even among his allies. In a post on social media platform Truth Social on Monday, the president said all talks with China concerning their requested meetings with us will be terminated. U.S. State Department did not respond to CNBC's request for comment. Escalation is probably the only short-term outcome, but negotiations will ultimately come as both sides feel the pinch of economic slowdown. At a regular news conference on Tuesday, Lin Jian, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson, said Beijing would take necessary measures against U.S. tariff threats. He reiterated the Commerce Ministry's statement, if U.S. insists on waging a tariff war, a trade war, China will fight to the end. Working, finishing the engine. Working. A lot of workings. Working people here. Working men and women. Also listening. Got to be driving home in podcast mode. Gme Cadillac crossover. They cut the production of it. I don't know. It's breaking news. Just came up. Yeah, they're ending production of the crossover while extending production of another vehicle at the facility. GMC Cadillac crossover? Yeah. XT6. I guess I'll read it. Why not? General Motors is ending production this year of a gasoline-powered Cadillac crossover at a plant in Tennessee. Oh, maybe it's just at that one plant. I don't know. While extending production of another vehicle at the facility, the Detroit automaker will cease production of the XT6, a three-row crossover, at its Spring Hill assembly plant towards the end of this year, but it will continue producing a smaller crossover called the XT5 until at least the end of 2026, according to an internal memo sent to plant employees and confirmed by the company. The changes are unrelated to tariffs, according to a company spokesman. They are part of the brand's previously announced plans to offer a full lineup of all-electric cars, crossover, and SUVs. Crossovers blend elements of cars with traditional truck-based SUV. Cadillac, which has pulled back on its ambitions to exclusively sell EVs by 2030, has been on an aggressive product rollout that has included introducing 6 new or updated products in the past year or so. That has included EVs and gas-powered vehicles. The plant in Tennessee has been producing the Cadillac Lyriq, the brand's first EV, since 2022. It also recently started production of a three-row crossover called the Vistique, which essentially replaces the XT6 at the plant. The internal memo cited strong customer demand for the continuation of the XT5, which was expected to end production later this year. XT5 was Cadillac's number 3 selling vehicle last year behind the Escalade SUV and Lyriq. Sales of the XT6 have largely been underwhelming since its launch in 2019, with sales averaging about 19,000 units a year. It was the last of GM's three-row crossover to be released during the time, and shared many components with the less expensive GMC Acadia. In the memo, plant leadership also said the facility would have scheduled downtime the week of May 12th. GM confirmed the downtime, as well as temporary plant layoffs for workers, citing the need to adjust vehicle inventory with demand. Oh wow, this is just a full thing. Instead of GME instead of GMC. I don't think I even said GMC. I just said GME. GM, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Feel sad about the market being down? Who knows? People are here, they're just working. They're just sad GameStop's not up, I guess. People only care about GameStop. I mean, you've been here long enough, you should realize people only care about GameStop when it's up. Nobody cares when it's going down. They cared that one day. But other than that, people don't care about this stock. And they just, they got all their tech stocks on dip. Nobody gives a shit about GameStop. $104 China tariffs take effect at midnight. Yeah, that's funny. I have that article literally up right here. I literally have that article up. It's just like it's like an update article though. So I don't know. Didn't look like there was a story about it. It's just the headline, and then it's got a bunch of like mini articles in it. It's kind of weird. Oh, it's right here. Yeah. We'll see what happens. That's all I've heard from the news for 4 years. I'm trying to forget about GameStop, but I stream every day about it. If I didn't stream every day about this, I literally wouldn't care about GameStop. I would just buy it and never look at it. It's already sealed. The future's already looking good, unless the whole market just turns to trash, which probably won't happen. But yeah, I literally wouldn't even look at the stock if I didn't stream about it. I'd maybe look at it for like 5 seconds, maybe once a day. A Kanye interview. Who did he go on with? Kanye. How long is this clip?
Nigga, you don't like how about this quality?
What the hell? People were complaining about the quality of the stream and he turned it off. That's hilarious. What a troll. What a troll. I just like having it up all day. It doesn't matter really what it's doing because I'm not selling for quite some time. Yeah, I feel like there's I don't know. And if you're not trading it, I just feel like it's pointless to watch the price. Like the panics as much as the pumps in crypto is crazy. But here we are. I think that's the end of our articles here. I don't think there's anything else to read, really. Switch 2 pre-orders delayed in Canada now. Chicken Jockey. Read all those. Zooks. Amazon's getting in the robo-taxi game. Zooks, huh? Amazon Zooks starts testing its robo-taxis in LA. Amazon's autonomous vehicle company Zooks has begun testing its robo-taxis in Los Angeles. It has deployed a small fleet of retrofitted test vehicles throughout the city for the purposes of mapping and data collection. This could eventually lead to paid rides for consumers. The company is sending out manually driven Toyota Highlanders at first. These have been equipped with Zook's self-driving tech and will gather mapping data. Broader autonomous testing will start in LA this summer. This will happen after the Highlanders gather enough data regarding driving conditions, potential road work, city events, and other potential surprises. After that, it should send in the actual robo-taxis, which operate without a steering wheel or pedals. The vehicles are already being test driven in several cities, but again, not with commercial passengers. These areas include Foster City, San Francisco, and Las Vegas. I was gonna say I could have sworn I've seen a Zooks in Las Vegas before. Zook says it should begin offering public rides in Las Vegas and San Francisco later this year. It's also testing manned robo-taxi drives in Miami, Austin, and Seattle. This is done with a Highlander and a human safety operator behind the wheel. This expansion is happening just a few weeks after the company issued a software recall on 258 of its vehicles. Due to issues with the driving system unexpectedly hard braking, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration received 2 incident reports involving motorcycles crashing into the back of Zook's vehicles due to this hard braking. Rival Waymo is the only autonomous vehicle company right now that offers actual paid rides. The Alphabet-owned company provides this service in several cities, including San Francisco, Phoenix, and Austin. Plans on expanding to Atlanta, Miami, and Washington, D.C. in the next 2 years. Zooks! Alright, that thing would be trippy to ride in. It kind of just looks like the Tesla thing. That Tesla bus thing. I've never seen one of those before, though. I could have sworn I've seen one of those, one of these, though. The Toyota Highlanders. But the Waymo and the Zooks look the same. Content. That's funny. Belatro's getting age restricted on YouTube, I guess. Or like anyone who's made videos of Belatro got their videos age restricted. It's kind of interesting. January 21. Interesting. There's a lot of people that have been. I feel like it's mostly. There's not many people who like have gotten this stock recent. I feel like most of the community is people from back then. Seems like, at least. I didn't give a shit about GameStop back then. I just thought it was a pump and dump, which is hilarious. Drills. What's up, Drills? Haven't seen that name in here before. Middle-aged man cards from Japan. Oh man. It's like Pokemon with old people. Boomermon. Boomermon. Lame. Well, I don't know what we're gonna do for the next hour because there's like actually no news. The stock market's shitting again, so that's really cool. That's pretty cool to see. What a crazy time to be a stock market participant. Crazy time. I like, bruh. It's cool if you're not weird in my chat. That's really cool. It's pretty cool when you don't just say weird stuff. If you're gonna type in the chat, at least like, I don't know, ask a question, bring a topic to talk about, post a stock trade, like literally anything. But that, I don't even know you. I don't even know you. About to break 23. Pretty sick. Did Kaylin get mad or is she just busy? I told her not to come to the stream anymore if you want the real answer. So she's just lurking? Maybe. I don't know. Don't know. It's dumb you have to have CNBC Pro to read this article. Like, all I want to see is what their S&P 500 target is. Like, I don't care. Like, I need to. Yeah. I could probably just look it up on Google, maybe. Let's see. That'd be funny if you could just look this up on Google. Firm has adjusted the year-end target for the U.S. market benchmark for 6,400 to 5,800 points. Potential 7.5% from Monday's level. Interesting. Didn't need to pay I don't know how much CNBC Pro is. It's quite a bit though. I didn't need to pay $400 for this to figure that out. $300 for an annual subscription of this. Good lord. Good lord. I would never pay that. $40 more minutes till the market closes. Crazy ass day. I mean, GameStop, whatever. Still pretty sick that we're up this much. But I can't believe the market was, down 6% on Sunday. Or before market open yesterday. And then it was up 3% today. Now it's just back down 2%. That shit's funny as fuck, bro. It's a day trader's paradise, honestly. And here we are, just holding GameStop. That's funny. Quite funny. I actually thought GameStop would be up quite a bit today. The way the market opened. I thought we'd at least tap 26. But it didn't happen. Obviously. Let's read this article. Let's see. How long is it? Holy shit, that's a long article. Let's see what CNBC thinks here. Why the stock market hates tariffs and trade wars. Let's get the opinion of the fake news media, the fake news network. What's up, Isaiah? I thought I was going to open red and close green, but it did the opposite. The stock market has been throwing a temper tantrum fueled by fear of Trump's tariff policy and the specter of an escalating global trade war. Americans may wonder why trade policy has made stock investors skittish. At a high level, investors are nervous that a prolonged trade war poses significant risks for corporate profits and the U.S. economy. That's not a foregone conclusion, however. The Trump administration could strike trade deals and blunt the overall impact. But if that doesn't happen, the market may still be a long way from the bottom. S&P 500 shed almost 11% in 2 days. Trading ended Friday. It was the worst 2-day stretch for the U.S. stock benchmark since March 12th, 2020, in the early days of the COVID pandemic, the fourth worst since 1950. Wild. Stock 1950. Yeah. Okay. So stocks briefly entered bear market territory, meaning they'd fallen 20% from their recent peak during trading on Monday before paring some of the losses. The sell-off came after Trump announced a sweeping plan Wednesday to put a 10% baseline tariff on U.S. trading partners. He set significantly higher rates for nations including China, traditional allies like the European Union members. Their scope caught many investors off guard. The announcement was more significant than most expected, so we had a material sell-off in the stock market. Was it worse? Everything's pretty much what I've expected so far. Wall Street fears to hit to growth. The stock market is a forward-looking barometer of investor sentiment and tends to fall when investors sense collective danger. The fear is that tariffs will dent growth for publicly listed companies and the broader U.S. economy. Wall Street has raised its odds for U.S. recession. Okay. Wall Street can't really, whatever. Tariffs are a tax paid by U.S. companies that import goods from abroad, and they therefore raise costs for U.S. businesses. Companies may eat some of that cost to avoid raising prices for consumers, eroding profits. But economists expect businesses will pass at least some of the extra cost to consumers. The average household will lose $3,800 of purchasing power per year due to tariff policies announced so far. Consumers may pull back on spending, and lower sales would likely dent company profits. Companies may opt to lay off workers, further pressuring consumer spending, which accounts for about 70% of the U.S. economy. Retaliatory trade measures compound the problem. China put a 34% tariff on U.S. products after Trump's announcement of reciprocal tariffs last week and vowed it would fight to the end. Canada put 25% tariffs on a range of U.S. goods, while the EU bloc is readying its own 25% retaliatory duties. The S&P was up over 2% Tuesday morning on rising hopes for trade deals with China and South Korea. Retaliatory tariffs make U.S. goods sold abroad more expensive, hurting export-reliant businesses, perhaps leading to layoffs and lower consumer spending. We expect many, if not all, countries outside the U.S. to adopt retaliatory tariffs of their own. Wells Fargo expects significantly lower growth for the U.S. economy in 2025 due to unexpectedly aggressive tariff increases. It lowered its target for gross domestic product to 1% from 2.5% this year. I mean, that's not a recession, but okay. For now, the economy isn't yet showing signs of dramatic weakening, said Joe Settle. I don't know. If tariff policy proves to be long-lasting rather than temporary, the shock would likely cause a mild U.S. recession, he said. Economists also expect tariffs to raise U.S. inflation this year, at a time when it hasn't fallen back to earth from pandemic-era highs. While tariffs are highly likely to generate at least a temporary rise in inflation, it is also possible that the effects could be more persistent, Chair Powell said. The Fed may not cut interest rates as quickly as anticipated as a result. The dynamic would likely keep borrowing costs higher for businesses, dampening growth prospects for those unable to invest in and expand their operations. Market hates uncertainty, not tariffs. I can agree with that. The current tariff battle is very different from tariffs in Trump's first term. One way, the scale. The first administration put tariffs on about $380 billion of imports in 2018 and 2019. Now there are tariffs on more than $2.5 trillion of U.S. imports, or about 7 times more. Another difference is the White House's public stance towards tariffs and communication about it. During Trump's first term, there was a level of stock market volatility the administration didn't find tolerable. Now there appears to be less concern about stock gyrations, which is perhaps the most important factor in the stock sell-off. The capital markets are sending a signal to the administration that all is not well and the probability of recession, job losses, and a negative wealth effect are all increasing. The administration has been somewhat dismissive of these signals, creating a negative feedback loop. Uncertainty around the framework, goals, potential duration, and the White House's economic tolerance regarding tariffs makes it difficult for investors to assess market risk. It's not all about tariffs. While tariff policy was a catalyst of the recent sell-off, it wasn't necessarily the only factor that contributed to the slide. For one, stock valuations were already elevated heading into 25. The market was trading at 20 times forward earnings, a measure of stock valuations which was well above 16.5 average over 1990 to 2024, and 12.8 average over 1950 to 2024. When you have all those elevated valuations, the market will be more sensitive to bad news. Okay. First day I haven't seen 6ix9ine in here. I guess all the tariff stuff's got him back to work grind. He said he was working, so he must be busy. Good chance he's at a bar? Nah, I don't even think 6ix9ine drinks. I think he just gambles. I don't think he drinks. Or he's at the Pink Pony Club, his favorite place. His favorite place, the Pink Pony Club. Loves fish. Gefilte fish. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Gefilte fish. RL, what's up, RL? How you doing? How you doing this fine day? Find this dip, nice. Damn, the Russell's down 3%. Pretty massive. Pretty massive. Pretty sure this trading view trash is lagging. Yeah. This shit's like 10 minutes behind. God, that looks like shit. Good bounce, but good lord, the volatility is crazy. Good lord. Lord. Damn. Apple is getting shit on. Didn't Nvidia bounce? Yeah, a little bit. Everything's pretty clapped today, it seems like. Except for Chewy. Chewy's still holding. I mean, you are forming a bearish patterns on Chewy, but overall still bullish, I would say. These numbers don't matter. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't care about GameStop's price, but the overall market, good luck predicting where that's going. It could definitely sell off more if you don't think that's a possibility. Most definitely could sell more. Oh yeah, GME. I mean, GME can sell too. But yeah, doesn't really matter. I think GameStop has already proved itself by not, not selling off through 20 with the rest of them. Like the market's clapped, and GameStop's still above 20 somehow. Somehow, some way. But yeah, everything else, all these tech stocks, S&P 500. Good luck predicting the bottom on this shit. There'll be some good trading opportunities on the way. But good luck. But yeah, GameStop's lit. Pretty lit. It's pretty much the trend you're following right now. Screw you. I forgot I wasn't logged into that. Oh well. But yeah. Hopefully we break out of this channel. Because if it keeps following this same channel, it is likely we'll see 19 again. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. What's crypto at? Still down quite a bit. Saying last time you were at this price for GameStop, Bitcoin was at $82, and the S&P was also down. So you're still just GameStop's still just chilling. Wonder if they've I wonder if they freaking have bought yet. I would assume yes, but I don't know. Maybe they don't even buy this year. Who knows? 6ix9ine, what's up, 6ix9ine? That's what I said. I actually watched that music video over the weekend, and I was like, Ah, I get why 6ix9ine likes this song so much. But I was also just, I don't know, I just thought it was funny. I didn't realize what the song was about until I watched the video. Isn't Bitcoin supposed to be a hedge against the stock market? No, definitely not. Bitcoin has never been a hedge against the stock market ever. There was a Friday, or yeah, Friday was the first time in history ever the market was down like 6% and Bitcoin didn't even move. That's literally the first time you've ever seen that, I think. But yeah, Bitcoin's not a hedge against the stock market. Everyone's scared of the tariffs, can't tariff a Bitcoin. Yeah, everyone's terrified of tariffs. They're terrified. Tariffs are so terrifying. Can't tariff a Bitcoin. Obviously, that doesn't matter. If that mattered, Bitcoin wouldn't be down however much it's down today. This is why you focus on price action and you just watch the stock for what it is and not put so much weight on the news. Because if you think the tariff news was supposed to benefit Bitcoin, then I don't know. I don't even know how you could come to that conclusion, honestly. You need to focus more on price action if that's like a conclusion you came to. Because that's not even real. Sure, you can't tariff the Bitcoin, but doesn't mean the Bitcoin price is going to go up while the market is shitting. Seeing Michael Saylor borderline begging Ryan Cohen to buy Bitcoin on Twitter. It'd be funny if they didn't buy Bitcoin. They just stole this 1.5 billion. That'd be funny. Cuz I think that's an extra like 80 million in interest. 60 million. So that's really cool. Having to save so many deals, it's ludicrous. Damn. Damn. I was wondering. Busy man today, I guess. Making a meme of it. Think we get more red ahead? I mean, of course. That wasn't really a. We're in a bear market. I don't know if you guys forgot already. So it's way more likely. Way more likely that that happens. Tis a bear market these days. But I just whatever. Who cares? Let me wake me up in 5 years and let me know where GameStop's at. Then maybe I'll care about it a little bit. I've heard folks telling me they think this is the start of Great Depression round two. Round two, fight. The Great Depression round two, huh? That'd be interesting. I thought you said it was different from 2022. What, like 3 months ago, maybe I did. I might have said something to that. But I also said there were very many similar qualities to 2022 as well. It's the greatest depression. The best depression. Because I want way more. Well, it's not what the bet is. The bet is a growth opportunity. And you're in the middle of a bear market, so I don't know. I would just advise patience. It's a lot. I don't know. Yeah. For me, I've truly lost interest in this stock. It's all about the long term. Yeah, I wish I sold Baba too and only held GME all I had going into tariff season. That's all you hold? Why do you have a money guy if that's all you hold? You need a money guy to buy Baba and GameStop? Freaked out back in early Feb and had him sell everything. Oh, nice. That's pretty dope. Be like Roaring Kitty come back after 3 to 4 years when stock pumps again? No. I'm good. I just stream. Like, I'm sorry if I don't want to talk about the 10-cent moves on GameStop. My bad. I don't care about the 10-cent moves on GameStop. There's no news, there's nothing exciting going on, so I'm sorry. But I'm gonna stream, you know, if I want. If I don't feel like streaming, then I won't stream. This coin market cap. This thing is tripping. This thing is tripping. You just can't use TradingView unless you're logged in, I think. It has 15-minute delay. Wonder if it has, does it have the delay if you're logged in? I've honestly never noticed. Getting a little bounce on Bitcoin here. A little Bitcoin bounce. Well, maybe it wasn't delayed on that. Yeah, what the hell, dude? I just noticed this. I never noticed this before, but TradingView is delayed. So like any streamer you watch who is using TradingView, they're like they're literally 10 minutes behind, or at least on futures. Maybe it's not for stocks and crypto, but on futures it's delayed for some reason. Very odd. Very odd. But getting a little pop here just because Bitcoin got a little pop. Maybe the rest of the market's getting a... Oh, I can't look at ES. I got to do the SPY. If I'm going to use this trash. Yeah, a little pop, little pop on the SPY. Seems like they don't want to let SPY go below its 52-week low. I mean, give it some time, my friend. We'll see. You got to pay for real-time exchange data. Oh, that's stupid. It seems like it's got real-time data on Bitcoin and stocks, but not for futures. Not for the futures. I would never pay for TradingView. Shit is trash. The only good tool they have is the volume profile. Other than that, it's just your typical chart. Bro. Bro. I don't know what you're broing. Why are you so obsessed with that? It's funny because I hear that song every time I go to the gym. I hear that song, and I had no clue what you were talking about until I actually watched the video the other day. And I'm like, oh, I hear this song all the time. And then I watched the video too, and I'm like, 6ix9ine's weird. What a weird guy. Oh man. It's on everywhere, man. They want you to hear it and sing it. All I can visualize is the fucking music video now. That's all I can visualize when I think about that song is just the video. That's all I think about now. Go to Starbucks, it's on. Perfect place for the Pink Pony Club. Starbucks. Trading View sucks. Shit just like froze, I think. I'm still live, I think. The Trading View just froze. Casino, it's on. Wife's car, it's on. Never seen the video. I just like to dance. Definitely watch the video. Damn. Yeah, like 2 more minutes, and then the stock market closed. So a video of that girl playing that song in a park for like 30 people, then a year or two play for a crowd of 80K people all singing along. Don't let your memes be dreams. That's crazy. That's wild. Anything's possible in this world. Even a negative GameStop hater can get 26 viewers. Even someone who owns a shitload of GameStop and absolutely hates it can get viewers. Anything's possible in this world. Anything's possible. Must be dancing wrong. Stop making me yawn. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I'm tired. What's a good song? Um, a lot of good songs. Listen to I don't know. I forget the dude's name. But listen to Double Life by, it's like a song from Despicable Me or something like that. It's a banger. It's quite the banger. I forget who it's by. I can't think of who it's by. Pharrell Williams. I would love to play it for you, but YouTube don't like that. Oh, the market's closed. Closed at let's see what it closed at. 23.40. I think this is lagged. I think this data is a few seconds behind. 23.38, I believe, is the close. GME news inbound, you think? I mean, it is a down day, so potentially. Potentially GameStop news. This Yahoo shit's tweaking. Let's go back to TradingView. What the heck? Oh yeah, you can't use TradingView for after hours. So dumb. I'll be right back. Let's see. Everything big for business happens on a Tuesday. We'll see. Extended hours on the chart settings. Oh. That would make sense. Where does it say? How come I can't find it? Oh, symbol? How come I... It's on. I don't know. Maybe it's just being weird. Oh, it's working. It's just being weird. It's working. I had it on. It just seems like the... It just... I don't know. It just seems weird. I've been using Thinkorswim too much lately, so I'm used to like getting like actual real data right as it comes out. Too used to that. Not used to this lagging weird data. Like Thinkorswim, it's like boom. Like there's been moments when like GameStop's gone up a lot or down a lot where it'll say like $25 on TradingView, and then you'll go into like Thinkorswim and the like legit price will be like 25.17 or something like that. So you're just not getting like true real data here and in real time. I guess unless you pay for it. But yeah, it's just weird going back from actual legitimate live data to this, I guess. It's just weird. No news releases or anything yet. Let's see, sec filings. Nope, just those two Form 4s still. Pending. Pending. Oh yeah, PSA finally received my games or my cards. So we're gonna see if we get some tens up in this. Get some tens up in this bitch. Hopefully. That'd be so sick. I really hope that Raichu's a 10. If that Raichu's a 10, that'll be fire. It looked really good. Like I said, I'm just really worried about that like little bend in the cards. See this TradingView shit's weird. Why does Robinhood say 23.49? And then I think the spreads are really wide though. What's the short interest on XRT? No clue. A lot of people say it's like hundreds of percents, but can't prove it. I don't think it's on Market Watch. Yeah, can't see it on Market Watch, so who knows? Don't know. Market Watch is the only one I believe in, so I'm not gonna take anyone else's information and say it's right because it's probably not. 890%. Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen people say it's that high, but I would never believe that ever. Because you can't even prove it. Maybe it is, but I don't know. I don't know where you would find that proof. No clue. What's up, Kristen? What am I doing? I'm about to get off stream here and I don't know. Nothing. Literally nothing. Wait around for like 10 more minutes maybe, see if there's any news on this, and then leave. My subscriptions went up. It's because of the Suron videos. Get like 30 subs a day. Like 20, 30 subs a day. Something like that. The channel would act like if I didn't live stream, the channel would grow even faster. Actually, I actually lose subscribers because I live stream. Like the channel would probably be growing by like, I don't know, 40, 50 viewers or 40, 50 subs a day probably if I didn't stream. Because a lot of people subscribe and then they see I live stream something other than Suron stuff and then they unsubscribe. That's it is what it is. Didn't happen today. It's been a while. Few days. You all just noticed. It is what it is. Jeez. I mean, I like Caitlyn, but sometimes sometimes you gotta clap people that you don't want to clap. And I'll leave it at that. Zero minutes in. I thought it was Muma that impeached you. That's your race. That's funny. Damn, Moose again coming in here with some more memberships. Damn, Signed Veritas got another one? That's crazy. Hey, Leapfrog got one. Let's go. Leapfrog got one. Shout out to Moose, bro. Shout out to... Bro, Moose has been blessing up the stream the past couple days. God bless Moose. God bless Moose, man. He's been blessing this stream. Been blessing. Why don't I get him? No, it's just random. I don't know how it works. Yeah, W Moose, bro. Shout out Moose. Thank you, Moose. For real, bro. Like, you don't need to be you don't need to be supporting the channel like that. Like, it's enough that you're here every day, you know? It's enough that you show love in the chat and you hold it down. Like, that's enough, bro. For real. But I do appreciate you supporting the stream financially as well. Cheers to Moose. 6'9". 6'9's gotta... Oh, someone's donating? I better donate too. Fucking 6'9". Someone's donating. Let me show them who the real donator is here. You think you're a donator? Not around these parts. Shout out 6'9" too. Shout out 6'9". huge contributor to the stream. Crazy. Crazy. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I don't know. Do I have to buy the Halo helmet now? I don't know. Like Moose has donated a lot. Like a lot of donations have been thrown out the past few streams. So like, do I gotta buy the Halo helmet now? Do I just gotta buy more hats? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe more GME? You want me to buy more GME? Damn. I mean, maybe I'll buy more GME. We'll see. Jack Reacher, what's up, Jack Reacher? Hope you're doing good. Spend everything else on GME. Huge whale coming in. Huge. They should call him Huge Whale. Huge Whale. God bless you, Huge. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Huge Whale. Oh, man. I agree though. I just realized that the sec filings that you could just click on the sec filing like this. Like that's actually very convenient because I've been going to the sec website and typing in GME here. And then it gives you like the important things, but it won't give you form 4s or anything like that. You have to go down here. So now that I know I can just click this and the form 4 is right there, like that's sick. But yeah, I agree. I like this investor relation page way more. It should have like GameStop's Twitter or something linked in it though, because then you could just click GameStop's Twitter and see what they've been posting, or I don't know. I like this. Did I see Kevin here earlier? Yeah, Kev came back. Try to see him back unless I'm high. No, he's back. I did piss him off, I think, but me and Kev are friends, so it is what it is. I piss off a lot of people. It's nothing from normal. Buy an alarm clock so we aren't sitting in silence until 10 a.m. I mean, I went to the gym today. The past few streams I didn't go to the gym because I was kind of injured, but that's why I've been starting the streams late, is because I've been going to the gym. It's the optimal time to go, honestly. So I'm sorry that the streams have been starting late, but gotta get in there, bro. Gotta get it while I can. Like, I try to go after the stream, but a lot of the times I don't even feel like going after the stream. And then if it's like too late after the stream, like if I stayed here for another like hour and then tried to go to the gym in an hour, bro, you can't even get a machine. Like there's so many fucking people there. It's ridiculous. So like I'm kind of forced to go in the morning. So I'm sorry I've been starting the stream late, but I mean, I got to take care of myself as well, you know? Like I would love to just wake up and keep doing the stream thing, but I also got to you know, take care of myself. And going to the gym in the morning is the easiest in my opinion, cuz you just don't even think about it. You just wake up and you go. The other one maybe looked cooler, but this one's better to use / navigate. Yeah, I agree. Was she banned or just asked to not come back? I didn't ban her. I wouldn't ban Caitlyn. I just told her to not talk in the chat. Honestly, that's all I told her. Told her she can stay around if she wants, but don't talk in the chat. And whether she's here or not, I don't know, but yeah, probably not. Shorter streams, the more energized Jim Corey has been solid. Yeah, I feel like I'm sure the content's a lot better too. And there just hasn't been like news or like anything. Like I don't even know how I would do a 7-8 hour stream. There's nothing to read about. Like there's nothing. Sure, the stock market's exciting, but it's not that exciting. Like I don't know. It's one of the most historic stock markets in history, but like for some reason I'm not excited about it. Like I just don't even care about the stock market right now. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, but I've been doing this a long time. It happens. It's kind of part of it. Yomar, what's up, Yomar? How you doing, my friend? How you doing, bro? Hope you're still crushing some trades out there. Really hoping for Bitcoin purchase news. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to get any news today. No news today, but I mean, still holding $23 while the market's down quite a bit. I would say that's pretty positive. I would say that's pretty positive, and Bitcoin down too, Bitcoin's down a somewhat decent amount. So very, very positive in my opinion that the market down and crypto's down. I mean, Bitcoin or GameStop is down, but when you compare it to everything else, I mean, GameStop looks amazing. Doesn't mean it, doesn't mean it can't sell more, but you're definitely seeing a lot of support for this stock at the lower 20s. Ate too much candy, that sucks. I know how that goes. I know how that goes. Freaking candy. I'll see if there's any news. We'll cycle through, see if there's anything, but I don't think there is. So it might be time to hit the dusty old trail. But we'll see. Damn, Intel broke that historic support finally. That's crazy. I figured that wasn't going to work again. I'm surprised it worked as many times as it did. Kind of interesting, though. Pretty much everything was down. Materials leading the way. Consumer discretionary was flat for a while, but that's one of your biggest down sectors. Energy, real estate, tech. Cracker Barrel insider buy. Crazy. The good old Cracker Barrel, bro. Have I ever put that in the spreadsheet? I swear I've seen that on insider buying before. CBRL. I've never done the Cracker Barrel? I swear I've seen that before. Maybe it just wasn't good. Declining income, but not bad. Not bad. They had about 2.5 billion in assets. Only 780 market cap. This thing was at $50 to $60 before the market started selling off, though. Interesting. Damn. You're like way below COVID lows on that. I don't think Cracker Barrel's going anywhere, but who knows? That looks interesting. Very interesting. Value. You know, who knows if it would work out, but it does look good. It looks extremely good, actually. Besides the declining income, obviously. That's no bueno. Nobody likes that. Nobody wants to see declining income. Ugh. Restaurante. Yeah, I can just copy and paste this. Convenient. Okay. Okay. Here's that. Any news releases? No. Filings? No. So, doesn't look like we're going to get anything on the GameStop front. Should get, at least on Market Watch, you'll get updated short interest here next week. Whoops. Any earnings after hours? Meh. Sometimes I eat candy for 30 minutes and nothing else. Jeez. Eat something else. I don't know. Candy sucks. Just don't dance category. Things are rough out there. Casinos are even slowing down. Less old farts out right now. Interesting. It's because they lost 20% of their retirement, because, you know, or more, you know. I'm sure most of those people's retirements are they're at minimum in the S&P 500. And I'm sure they all have a lot of individual stocks as well, so yeah. People got clapped. Dormant Volcano, throwing that wrench into GME would be spicy, but I'm just not hopeful. Can't believe how big a shit the market took. It's killing it Trump's first term. I don't know. I wasn't there actually. I wasn't I wasn't a stock market participant in Trump's first term. I don't think. No, I don't think so. Or maybe when did Trump get elected the first time? 2016. So I think I caught like the tail end of it. Gme weekly and monthly chart look better than pretty much any stock. It's true. It's very true. Half America hates Trump. Perhaps it's a financial civil war. Interesting. I hear Elon and Trump hate each other now. What? I saw them on Kill Tony together last night. Kill the newest episode of Kill Tony's on Netflix. In case I doubt anyone here watches it, but in case you were wondering. And Elon Musk and Donald Trump are the guests. But it's, you know, Shane Gillis and Kyle Dunnigan impersonating those characters. Not 2016, 2017. Fair, that's close enough. Close enough. Fighting about Doge stuff. I have no clue. Apple's 4-day slide puts Microsoft back on top as most valuable public company. I mean, I've always liked I've always liked Microsoft the most out of any of those top 5-10 stocks. Nothing there. This guy got hit by a car on live stream. Their video. Oh my god. Oh, he's streaming. He's streaming in the fucking ambulance. What the heck? I want to see him get hit by the car. I guess I can't. Elon insulted Trump's golf swing, and Trump enacted the tariffs in such a way to hurt Elon financially. Where did you hear that? The voices in your head? The voices! The voices are telling me! The voices! The voices! All right. We're going to read this article. And then I'm leaving. So DOJ to disband its cryptocurrency enforcement unit. The Department of Justice has disbanded its unit focused on prosecuting cryptocurrency scams, which is stupid. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche announced the end of the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team in a memo sent on Monday. When the NCET launched, its focus was prosecuting cryptocurrency used in money laundering, fraud, and theft. In recent years, the Department of Justice secured several high-profile wins in cases involving Binance, Tornado Cash, and Bitfinex. However, the dissolution of NCET marks the latest government move to implement the current administration's crypto-friendly attitude. Shortly after taking office, President Trump signed an executive order aimed at encouraging the creation of blockchain networks. Blanche cited this as his rationale and ordered the department's cryptocurrency efforts to focus on individuals who victimize digital asset investors or those who use digital assets to furtherance of criminal offenses such as terrorism, narcotics, and human trafficking, organized crime, hacking, and cartel and gang financing. Any investigations that run counter to this agenda should be closed. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has also been walking back its regulations of cryptocurrency, such as ending an enforcement case against Coinbase. However, cryptocurrency remains a risky endeavor, with theft still rampant at the individual and national levels. Additionally, the Trump family already has vested interest in encouraging crypto operations, claiming a majority of revenue from World Liberty Financial's token sales. Okay. Alright. I'm out of here. Thank you guys for always supporting the stream, for real. God bless you. Unless you want to watch Donnie J.
Mr. President.
I don't think we want to watch Donnie J. So, for real, thank you guys for always supporting the stream, especially if you're here every day, all day. Like, I know we haven't been going 7-8 hours long, but I still appreciate your time, for real. Thank you. God bless you. If you're new to the stream, you know, thanks for giving the stream a second chance. Much love. Thank you. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Shout out Moose, 69, Kristen, Hugh G. Whoever else is here, I don't know. I'm not gonna go through the whole chat. If I didn't say your name, I'm sorry. I just didn't see your name in chat. So, yeah. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Have a good rest of your day. I'll catch you tomorrow for another exciting stream, for another exciting day in the stock market. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, God bless you guys. Peace!